Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Jack's Coffee Break. So, we left last episode in the Nether. Since then, I've done a few things. Not too much. Most of it was like chores that I figured probably wouldn't be very fun to watch. Looks like we've got some oxidation coming through. So, first things first, hollowed out these rooms. I haven't decorated them yet, but what I figure is that I can put the specialty tools in there and then enchanting over here. So that'll be where we go with those next. Still haven't finished the staircase, but next thing is down in our portal room. I've just cleaned it up a little bit. I'm trying to remove this bit of floor so that way we can decorate the nether area. Opened this up so that way we have a better view of some of the water that we've got running through this cave system adjoining ours. And then down here, all the way at the bottom, I've done a little bit of exploring. So, the other thing that I did off screen in the creative world is I went ahead and I did some surveying, because I wanted to see what we were actually working with as far as our underground system goes. And this looks like it's going to be our largest chamber for a while. So, it's disappointing that we don't have a lot to work with before we have to strip mine, but that being said, there are some benefits here. So I've got this stairway, and if we go up here and then we follow this staircase up there, all the way back in there, there's another chamber, it looks like, and more importantly, there is an abandoned mine shaft, and that abandoned mine shaft has a spider spawner in it, which I'm very excited for, because we need spider eyes and we need string, especially if it looks like our luck is going to hold out and we're not going to get more sheep. So that will be something to get us going. And then through here, honestly, I would like to eventually turn this into a dwarven city, but that's probably the work of years. So I'm not going to hang my hat on it. It's not going to be something that I work on immediately. And honestly, it might be something that we work on when we get into creative mode. So right now I'm trying to hold off going into creative for as long as possible. And that means that we're not going to be seeing too many mega build projects, because if I'm going to build big stuff, then I don't want to be hindered by resource gathering, right? So that is going to be like a long-term goal, but it's not something we're starting anytime soon. So next, let's go into the nether, because we need to talk about this nether that we've spawned into. I regret to inform you that having looked around on a seed base and having done a little bit of exploration myself in creative, we managed to land ourselves in one of the worst nethers possible. There's no nice way to put it. It's bad. Now that being said, it's not hopeless. Like, it's not delete the seed and start over kind of bad. But it's gonna require a lot of work. So I'm gonna come all the way over here, and you can almost start to see it in the distance, but right where you see that kind of that tower, and then coming along this line right here. So that is another fortress. So we have that at least. And it looks like there's some pretty good loot over there, and there is a blaze spawner, so we're going to be able to get blaze rods. Now that farm is something I am definitely going to build in creative. We're not, like, I'm not messing with that. Now, we probably could do it in survival, but it's a pain in the butt, and I don't want to, so I'm not going to. This world is supposed to be enjoyable, not challenging. If you want challenging, you're gonna have to find someone else. So beyond that, we are in the middle of a nether waste that unfortunately is surrounded on all sides by basalt deltas and soul sand valleys, which is not the worst. It's bad. It's real bad, but it's not as bad as it could be. Basalt deltas have a lot of really cool materials for us to use in our building projects. So I do want to gather those. And more importantly, they're a great source of fuel. So we've been having a lot of trouble getting coal. Now that we're in the nether, we can basically just use lava as our permanent fuel source, and we don't really have to think about it. So that will be what we end up probably focusing on, is getting to these basalt deltas, clearing them out with the lava, and then harvesting the resources. If we go this direction by about 800 blocks, there is a crimson forest, and if we go that direction over there, there's a Crimson Forest and a Warp Forest, but they were a little bit difficult to get to. So what does this mean for our plans of eventually getting netherite? Unfortunately, once again, it's pretty bad. This ocean of lava is enormous, and there's really no big chunks of non-lava sea for a while. And like I said, the two nearest areas or biomes that we have down here are both pretty bad for spawning in lava. So it does put a major hamper on any plans that we had for that. But like I said, this situation isn't hopeless. It just means that we're going to have to travel pretty far in order to get to the things that we want, which we were going to have to do anyway, because after checking the seed base for the overworld as well, which is, there's something I want to go do today, so we're going to get started on that. There is a massive mushroom continent. Like, I can't even call this an island. It's a mushroom forest continent. That is, like, really nearby. It's to our west, I believe. And then there's a much smaller, more reasonable, mushroom island. And I think that one is to our east. So, what I'm thinking for today is we're gonna go find those. I think that that will probably be one of the more interesting things we can do with our time as far as exploration goes. So let's go ahead and get out a boat. Ended up running through my pickaxe, unfortunately, and had to make a new one. So, let's see here. It should be we into morning or evening. Looks like the sun is going down, so this should be west. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Because otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to end up just sailing onto one of the continents. And this is going to take a little while. We're about, besides this mushroom continent we're going to go try and find today, we're about 1,000 blocks away from any land. Yeah, we picked the right direction. Okay. I haven't actually been here. This is, I did not go into creative to go find this. I did see it in the distance on the video where I saw the seed, but yeah. So I have not done any overworld exploration in the actual game so far. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what we're going to run across. I do know that if we follow the nether towards that first Crimson Forest I pointed out, there is a ruined nether portal, and that pops us out in the middle of a savanna with a village like next to it. Like we're almost inside the village. So that does give me a little bit of hope. So, here we are. We found the mushroom continent. I don't know what to do with this, quite frankly. Oh, hello. This is very cool. We had sponges, right? But we don't. So, considering how close this is, one might think, well, I mean, why don't we just transport some mushrooms back to our island? And the better question is, why don't we just leave the mushrooms here and come by with our shears when we need mushrooms? We're not really in a place where we need any of this stuff yet, and mycelium is not one of my favorite blocks, but, you know, it's cool to know that this is here. This is something I don't think I've ever... I think I found this naturally once, like years ago. I think I found a mushroom forest, but this is one of those like really rare things. Yeah, so now for the next question is, where did I leave my boat? There it is. So our island is somewhere over here again. I'm hoping, because otherwise we're lost. Yeah, it's over here. So, yeah, so we've got that going on for us. Next things next, though. Over here in this ship. So I thought that there was another chest in here, like there had to be, and it turns out there is. It's just a little bit buried. So, we're going to go get it. Is it this one? Kind of. Let's try not to drown. Yeah, here we go. So I've right-clicked it, and I'm going to go back up to the surface because for some reason my game doesn't like to load the chests. Like as you click them, when you find them in structures, it takes a minute for the system to calibrate. So we're just going to chill here until we get a flash on our screen, and then we'll know that we need to go back down. There it is. Okay. And now that chest should load. Yes, and we got some trims. And a buried treasure map. So I've never used trims. I don't think I've ever successfully found buried treasure. And right now, what I'm also very interested in is getting a little bit of archaeology done. So we got some feathers now without us having to end any chicken lives. But do I have loose copper that is not in a block? Survey says no. So we'll have to smelt some of that up. And right now, because my only fuel source is lava, besides like these 2 pieces of coal, I'm trying to hold off on needing to smelt things until after I have like enough stuff that it actually makes the bucket of lava worth it. Which is a little bit challenging. So, yeah, could take us a minute to get that done. So, I'm thinking, if we can find a continent, and then if we can find a ruined portal on that continent, and then finish it, then we can start to use coordinates to start mapping out our nether highway. And that'll get us closer to our goal of actually being able to get all of the different woods in the game. So considering that there's still no copper showing up in that cave, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get in our boat and start going, and see where it takes us. Let's see here. What are our coordinates? So this is going to be what guides us back. So 1417, so basically we can just try and go back to 0, and that will get us onto our island. So again, truly at spawn, we don't need to consider too much with it. Now ideally, when we leave, we want to go either north or south. And also ideally, we want to build a dock, because I now have no idea where I left my boat. Oh, come on, we can do it. Where's the boat? This isn't exactly a big island. Did I sail back to the hole? Was this pointless? Was this little jaunt pointless? It was pointless. Here we are. Okay. So, where is the moon? Right there. Looks like the sky is rolling that direction. So this must be east, west, so we must be facing south. I think I want to try going north. Yes, we should now be going north. Okay. Alright, into the beautiful blue horizon. Let's see what we find. Hello? Are you a shipwreck, or are you just a funny-looking patch in the ground? Oh, we've got another shipwreck. Okay. Oh, and this one's actually pretty intact. Look at that. Good. Loaded nice and quick this time. Let's go get some air. And down we go. I don't have huge hopes for these shipwrecks. The paper is nice, and the feathers are nice. But most of the time when you find these, they've got things like Curse of Vanishing. Which I'm not really interested in, for obvious reasons. Okay, here's the underside of the ship. Not exactly much to look at. There it is. Oh, I cannot wait until we can get some enchantments. So we're just gonna pull everything real quick before we start drowning too bad. Which has already started. Okay. So, disappointing news, no extra trims. Good news, we have carrots and potatoes, which I am more than happy to take. Alright, let's continue our journey north. Hello? And those lights, are you... Oh, hello! Aren't you beautiful? We found a temple. Okay, now I am fully aware that you're supposed to play their games, and I can't be bothered. So we are literally just gonna dig down until we find something interesting, and if we don't, we don't. Oh, up we go. Yeah. So this looks like it might take a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull the coordinates for this. Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Which means north is this way. Let's go ahead and pull chords. We are 122, negative 818. So we are well and truly out there. And there we go, we got our coordinates. Alright. Let's continue on. Oh, and it looks like we're not gonna have to travel far. What are you? You're funky looking. Sunflowers. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So we've got sunflowers and we have another toppled ship. Wow, I don't think I could have asked for anything easier to loot. Alright. Okay, so what have we got in here? Not too much. I do think I want to get some of this wood. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. More paper, some actual books. Heck yeah. Something I actually need. And I'm going to grab this chest. Because since we're going so far away, and I have no idea when we're going to return... Come here. Come here. There. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a chest on this boat. And then that way... Oh, wow. Oh, wow, yeah, we really did land in a normal field, didn't we? I mean, that kind of sucks, but oh well. Anyway, now... we can go ahead and fill this up. Ooh, we've got projectile protection 2 and mending, of all things. So, projection, projectile projection. I think I'm going to just use those, and then, quite frankly, why would I do anything else but wear diamond leggings? Oh, got some pumpkins, some TNT. There. Now we have plenty of oak and plenty of birch, so nothing about this area is going to be useful for us. However, I do want sunflowers, because they're useful for navigating. Hi, fish. Thank you. Oh, and why not? Let's take a few more. It's not like they're running out. Good. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be nothing interesting over this hill. Yeah, more hill. More river. So, back to the boat we go. But I do think I want to follow the coastline this direction. If memory serves, we might be able to get some taiga if we keep going this way. And like on the coast. So the best way I can describe this world is that we're kind of in a bowl. So if our island is over there, then we're on the northern edge of essentially like two continents. One north and one south, and they sort of form a bowl around our islands. So this one up here is more cold, and the one down south is more warm. Hello, bee. Unless, of course, I've gotten this entirely flipped and I am in the wrong place. Which is entirely possible. So it's just gonna be a little while of navigating and see if we can find anything interesting. So we do want more shipwrecks. We do want village access. That would be nice. So it looks like this is just going to be another giant plain, and then there's a river that goes in, wherever in is. Hello. What are you? So this must be some kind of bay. That's a large one. That's pretty. A weird little outcropping right here. Yes. Alrighty, we found the taiga. So we are where I think we are. That's good. Let's go ahead and see if we can start getting some saplings then. So even if we don't find a village, what we are looking for is another portal. Partially because they got cool treasure, and partially because I want to see where it pops us out. Good. Okay, we've got some saplings. Let's go ahead and pick those up. And of course it's nighttime. Because why wouldn't it be? So it looks like these are gonna be the big hills. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like, is these are gonna be big and tall and amplified, and quite frankly, unless this little inlet leads back out into the ocean, I don't really want to mess with it. I don't really feel like being a mountain goat. So let's see where this takes us. And looks like it's going to be back out into the ocean. And looks like we got another birch forest over there. And is that... No, it's old taiga. Well, I'm not opposed to old taiga. Well, I guess we really are going to become a mountain goat. That's fine. Let's go ahead and pull the coordinates for our boat, because I can't take the stuff on land with me. I'm too full up. Alright, good enough. Okay. Crisis averted. And, more importantly, we can talk again. Okay, so, looks like we did successfully find some old taiga. There's plenty of mossy cobblestone around here, which I would like to collect. So I mentioned that there's flavors of Vulpincraft, and I want to highlight some of the differences real quick, just because it's super easy to show you. So this is what they look, this is what mossy cobblestone looks like in Vulpincraft high. However, Pardon me? Oh, you know what? They changed it, didn't they? Yeah, okay, so never mind. I misspoke. It used to be that this mossy cobblestone had a different texture. It had like a little cross on it. I forgot that they added the chisel into the game. So, let's go ahead and, well, I mean, actually, this is actually pretty nice to show off, so... You can see it's much brighter and more rich, I guess. It's less blue, more orange toned. We can play with this for a little bit, see where it takes us. It is going to look a little bit funny in other places, but you know, might be worth it. And then we've got this old forest over here, which is quite nice. We've got these flowering trees, which I'm not sure what this means for us. Is this a new tree as well? What are you? You're oak, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Flowering azalea. Interesting. Interesting. So that tells me that under here, there is another lush cavern. Somewhere deep under here. We'd have to probably go that way. And we got some coal. And birch forest abutting both this old wood and an old taiga. So, I think for our first base on the mainland, I don't actually mind living over here. This sounds kind of cool. Now, of course, the trouble is finding a nice, good place to actually develop into, because right now the ground is uneven, it's pockmarked, and while that's fine, it does make it really difficult to navigate. What I would like is some nice flat ground, which I don't know if we're going to find that or not. This is actually one of the reasons why I don't mind using previews like Chunk Base. They can tell you a lot about, you know, where the different biomes are and their borders and how far you need to go in order to find things. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't know what it's actually going to look like until you get there. So you're not really losing that explore. Cousin! Hello, cousin! Aren't you a cutie pie? Oh my goodness. Okay, hello. I don't know how to tame those. I don't know if you even can. Oh, and snow over there. This is a great place to be. But yeah, you really don't know what you're getting into until you actually arrive at whatever biome you're looking at, and you see what the landscape is going to look like. You know, like this is something where, like, if we were going to live here, there would be a lot of terraforming that we'd have to do. And unfortunately, that is what it's looking like. That we're just going to have to do the best with whatever small bit of flat ground we can find, and go from there. But this does look like a really nice place to try and build up from. And that is something that I'm looking for again in these sort of offshoot areas, is that I want locations where I can envision a project. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to just sort of find a place, pop something down, and then have no ambitions for it. Because at that point, it's just a node, and I have no encouragement to go to that node. So I think instead, we'll just have to wrangle this place and make it ours. Hello. Aren't you freaking enormous? Look at this. You know what? Let's have a little bit of adventure, shall we? Oh, wow. Yeah, no, this is, this is a lush cave. Alright. This is insanity. I mean, this is beautiful right here. Looks like it continues off that way. I don't know what happens down there. Let's go find out. I got some glow squid. Oh, I got some diamond. Is this? Oh, hello. Oh, really? Ladies and gentlemen, we've got shulk. I don't know how to feel about that. I would like for this to be a city. Like, if that's somehow a thing that we could get to. I don't know that it's gonna be. Oh. Okay, okay. I need to say something. I know a lot of people don't like the glow squid because it's useless. And I get that. I do. But also, I think it presumes that every single mob in Minecraft must be more useful than you expect them to be. And to a certain extent, I agree fully. I just went on that whole rant about pigs. like last episode. And I stand by what I said. Like, the pig is kind of useless because everything that it used to do in the game has been either nerfed, removed, or otherwise rendered useless. But on the other hand, I think the glow squids are just sort of, I don't know, they're nice. Like, they're squid, they glow. They're a glow squid. They do exactly what they say on the tin. Now that being said, there are some things that I think would be really cool, but I think that they're... I don't know how you'd make them work. Hello. You're another massive drop. Like, I would love it if the glow ink actually caused whatever you applied it to turn into a light source. Not a good one, but like just a light source, you know? Like for lighting pathways and things. Like maybe you farm some glow squid ink and then you use it to trace out a path. Like I could use glow squid ink to like I don't know, you could use it as like a buff and then it would dribble behind you and then you could trace a path for X number of blocks or whatever, and the longer you stayed on it, the more bright it would glow. And maybe it only shows up when you don't have any torches, you know? So that's one way I think they could have made something interesting with it. Of course, the other way is to just have it be like a paint, and then you apply the paint to the block and that is what causes it to glow, instead of having to do this whole, like, buff and plan where you're gonna walk and things like that. That could be cool, or maybe just like an additive to already colored blocks. Looks like we've got some axolotls. Okay, I just saw something weird. But yeah, like, I think that there are cool things that you could do with it, and maybe that's why the community's frustrated with it, is because there's so many cool things you can do that they're not doing. And if that's the case, I mean, like, I completely get it. But also, I don't know, I just like having a glowy squid. And that's my big thought for the day. I don't know, maybe I'll have another one. We'll see. So, considering this gigantic hole in the ground, considering where we are, considering that we can't find anything else, I guess this is as good a place as any to set up shop. Yeah? Maybe like right here on this hill? A little bit of a cave over here, but not much. Yeah. It's not bad. So we've got our diamond pickaxe. We know that there's gravel just all over the freaking place. We don't have any iron, that's the only downside. So I guess let's go ahead and start doing the difficult work of getting another portal set up. How did I lose my giant freaking hole in the ground? I didn't. We're good. It's right here. Fish. Glow ink. Oh! Hello. Okay, so, remember how I said skulk? Yeah, so this is why we turned off wardens. Because we found some skulk. Found some skulk sensors, even. Now I am out of water, because I've used it all trying to get down here. Oh, here we go. Here's some more water. Oh, don't kill me. Okay. Ah, more diamond. This is a deep and very narrow place. Oh, hello. Are you a zombie or skeleton? Our spider. It's spinning so fast I can't actually tell. But we've got some good loot. In fact, we've got 2 chests worth of loot, so I'm not going to complain too loudly. I genuinely can't tell. And therefore, I think it might be Skelly Boys. We're gonna do something dangerous. Yep, it's Skelly Boys. Okay. So once again, let's mark our coordinates, so that way we can come back here and farm it. I am quite happy to find a skeleton spawner. I mean, not only are the bones relatively handy, I mean, we can kind of get what we need through farming with a bone meal grinder or whatever, but in theory they also drop arrows and probably some loot, so I'm not gonna complain too loudly about it. Oh hey look, it's more skulk. Like a lot of it. Like far too much of it. And what is that I see? I see lava. And now we've got obsidian. Okay, well, while that is great news, because this is exactly what we needed, what's not great news is that once we get this obsidian, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that entire trek backwards. So I'm just gonna cut right now while we get this obsidian because it is the dullest thing you can do in Minecraft. And I'll be back when we're done. Okay, we've got our obsidian. Let us now make our long journey, hopefully back up to the surface. Alright, and I'm gonna hope that we came from this direction. Looks like we did. Looks like we should be able to just ride this up. And we are gonna get a ton of glow ink. Once again, I really wish that there were, like, cool things that you could do with the glow ink, but for now I guess we'll just have it as part of our collection. Oh, there's so much of it. Okay. Back up we go. Okay, so wherever this is bringing us back up, it's not where we started. That's good to know. It means there's multiple ways out of this cave network. Makes it a lot easier to just not get lost. Where are we gonna end up? Looks like we're back in that birch forest. Oh, that was a hard landing. Okay. Alright. Oh. Okay, so if this is that snowy biome, we were there. Alrighty. So we've got a bit of a trek to go on. And not an easy one. Man, this place is absolutely buck wild, isn't it? Really, really hoping we're going the right direction, because if we're not, this is going to be unfortunate. Yep, this is the view. Alright, so now that we have this done, the only thing to do left is to find a safe place, comparatively, to set an ender portal up. And then that way... Was that thunder? Was that thunder out of game? Huh. That's thunder out of game. Shoot. That's not great. Alright. Oh, you know what? I bet you this snow is just spawning up here because it's so high up. Okay, well... This is not where we started. But it's flat, it's nice, it all leads to the same tunnel, and there's a fox. So I'm gonna take that as probably our best omen? As much as those matter, they don't. Yeah, good enough. So let's go ahead and get our obsidian out, and now we gotta light it. Well, good news. Literally right up here we can get some flint, and then after that it's just a matter of getting some iron and a forge. And we'll just use wood for charcoal, so that's not a big deal. This is gonna be tedious, isn't it? Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a little bit tedious, and that maybe, it's going to take longer than I thought. So, considering where we are at, considering the length of the show, I'm going to cut it here, but we're going to continue, you know. So, for me, I'm just going to hit record on the next episode, and you are going to have to wait patiently. It's fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'll go ahead and get some of the boring stuff done. Like, I'm gonna get these trees cleared out, get ourselves a nice little space so that way we actually have a place to build. And then that way we can start to get this nice taiga base started to set up, and then we can begin making our way through the nether again back to our old home. So, I will see you guys shortly.